Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a very interesting review impressions of a QSP knife that we received in to the Apex group pass around from QSP. So thank you to QSP for allowing us to check this out. This is the QSP, let me make sure I get this right, Kestrel. This is the Kestrel. All right, and this is in JG10. Really nice, and I believe the steel is 14C28N. Yeah, 14C28N blade steel. This is blacked out, black stone wash, which is really cool. This has a, I guess you could call this a clip point. It almost looks like a Bowie, but it's not curved up here, and it goes straight over, so it's like a clip pseudo Bowie sort of knife. It is a liner lock. The liner lock engages up a good 50%. That works pretty well, as you can see. Pretty decent action. The thumb studs work well, the flipper works well, even the reverse flicking works pretty well, and it does well on the left hand side here as well. So that is really cool. All that stuff works well. Now notice the clip. This is a 2-pin clip. It is a recessed cutout. There's nothing on the other side, so it's a right hand tip up only. So right hand tip up only in the pocket. It's going to be in like that. It will be relatively deep pocket carry. You'll have about that much exposing, so it's pretty small, but it's still there. It is pretty well milled out on the inside on the steel liners. These are definitely steel liners, and so you have a lot of weight reduction there, which is really cool. Let's see if that clip is titanium. Yeah, it's a titanium clip, which is cool. It is a titanium clip, and steel liners, obviously. So looking at this, I do see that these are T6s. Let's just double check that. So this is the T6. So let's go ahead and look at that. Yeah, T6. Yeah, T6 there. And then I suspect this is going to be probably a T8. All right. So T8 for the pivot screw, and T6 is all the way around if you want to take this apart, clean it out, whatever. Now, if it's my knife, I would probably do that, you know, and I would check to see the tip. Excuse me, is a tip in best tip-top shape, right? No pun intended. Is a tip in tip-top shape. Anyways, I like this. It's got a nice kind of a chamfering that makes it almost feel contoured. If you can see that on the, let's go ahead and close that, and we can take a look. You see that? There's almost like a chamfering there, and it feels like it's a little contoured, so it gives a nice, thick but not super thin shape in your hand. I have medium to medium-large hands. My hands are large widthwise, this way. They're medium lengthwise. And so when I grip this knife from right here in the top position, I am right on the edge, right? I'm close to being over the edge. I think an extra large, you're going to be definitely pinky over here, double extra large, whatever, you might be like this. Can you choke up? Yeah, sort of. It's like a trigger choke, but be careful because the finger sharpening tool is right there, and it's dangerously close. It does have some jimping, which is nice for grip and texture. The thumb studs work pretty well. They're volcano style. It is dead center. There's no blade rock. Blade rock. There's no blade rock on the blade, so that's kind of cool. Very cool little knife. It looks like a flat grind, yeah, all the way up here. It does have a slight swedge, and this is flat up here, so for future purposes, you know, you might want to change the name of, oops, excuse me. Sorry, I was thinking about something else there for just a second, but I lost my train of thought. Let's start that back over. Yeah, so you have the jimping. It's nice there. It's a nice, good thumb trigger finger here. You could do that. The sharpening control doesn't give you a whole lot of room. You could choke up, but be careful, right? You could come up for the nice pinch grip. You can get the tip. It is definitely a clip point, drop point, whatever you want to call it. So there you go. That's the material on there. So let's go ahead and measure this and weigh it. So this weighs 3.60 ounces. So 3.6 ounces. And let's go ahead and take a little measurement of the total overall length of the knife. So we're looking at a knife that is just under 7, right at 7 inches, right? So just under 7 inches. The total hand length, if you wanted to grip it, you're looking at 3.5 inches if you go right here to the edge. If you go right up here, you're about 3 inches. That's not a whole lot of room. Blade from the very tip to the handle is right at 3 inches. It might be a 1/16 of an inch shorter than that. So 2 15/16. But anyways, cutting lengthwise, we are looking at a little under 3 inches. So that one's definitely going to be 2. 2 7/8. So 2 7/8 for that. So that is the length of the knife. So the ratios are not quite perfect, but they're not bad, right? They're very doable. Let's go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness. All right, I'm trying to zero this out, guys. All right. There we go. Okay. So let's see where we're at. We're at 0.121 inches, or 121 thousandths of an inch. So not bad, about average thickness. So it's robust enough. It does come to a tip here, a very thin tip, but it's got some reinforcement, so you'll be able to cut through boxes, gift boxes, Christmas boxes, whatever, envelopes, Amazon boxes, dog food, cat food, you know, cases of water. It definitely will work. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. So there you go. That is the measurements as far as the knife is concerned. Let's talk about the knife category. This is definitely going to be budget. We're looking at a knife that's between $60 and $70, depending on where you get it. And if you go to White Mountain Knives and use RNK10, that's R as in Robert, N as in nerdy, and K as in knives, Rob's Nerdy Knives. 10. If you use that, you get 10% off. And if it's there at White Mountain Knives, there you go. So cool. I think it's definitely, for the value and what you pay, it's definitely a good value. So if you're looking for a budget knife and you're not wanting to spend a lot, but you want a good quality knife, QSP is delivering again. I mean, they're Mini Penguin, they're Penguin. Those are great lines too. But if you wanted something a little more robust with a little more stronger kind of presentation, maybe not a gigantic grip because you want something a little smaller, this is definitely going to fit the bill. As far as me recommending it, I think everything about it is really good. I think it's relatively solid. There's no detent lash, is there? I didn't think there was. Let me see. Is there any blade wrong? I might have a little detent lash. So first run production, you know, right? Sometimes you're always ironing out the details. So we'll say, I have to see, you know, down the road if still runs as smoothly as well, or if they improve things. So there's that. Mill clip, pretty cool. Thickness on the blade stock, sharp edge, captive pivot. I like the QSP traditional pivot there. It does have a flipper, so if you like to flip it, and the flipper has good leverage to deploy relatively well, you know, so that's nice. I like the JG10. I like the fact that I could diet anything I wanted to at any point and when I want to, so that's really kind of cool too. All right, so it's definitely going to be in the budget category, so keep that in mind. Its purpose is definitely EDC, hard use. Yeah, I would hard use a budget knife because, man, that's, if you're going to break, you know, destroy a knife and you need to replace it, you want to use a budget knife, right? You want to, if that's what your goal is and you want to test it really hard, then I definitely consider the budget, the hard use as a possibility for sure. Is it a collection piece? I don't think so. I mean, I guess some people who love, you know, QSP, they might collect it, but I see no collection worthiness in here. Do I think it's a really sound tool? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. So there's that. Ergonomics and feel, and let's look at the design. I like it. I don't know who the in-house designer is. I'm assuming that there's probably in-house somebody there, but I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's kind of cool. I think there's a lot of benefit in that. So there you go. That's a little bit about the knife. You know, if you found this content, you know, fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the channel and the videos really helps out the channel to grow. It helps me to produce more content. So I would very much appreciate that. Thank you. So thank you so much for watching today's video and on the review impressions. Again, I have to send this out to other Apex users, so that's why I don't take it apart and mess with it more than just, you know, flick it and handle it here in the office. I don't really carry it anywhere for any hard use whatsoever. So there's that. And it's a cool little knife. Let's talk a little bit about the design. I think QSP does a great job. This is another great budget banger, so great deal. Opening and deploying works really nice. I do like liner locks. Liner locks are nice. You can tune them so they're a little drop shutty. You always get yourself in trouble with blade rock and things like that. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. I think the green pasture, the green pasture of of the design and the fact that it's a budget knife and all that stuff, and allows you just to, I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said for that. You can get a lot out of this knife and do a lot of things. So there you go. I do like the handle. I like the chamfering that's around, makes it feel contoured. I think that's really cool. Thumb studs work. They're deployed well, both front and reverse flicking, and it does it both left-handed and right-handed, so I can do that really, really well. The flipper works really well too. It's got some nice jimping on there, so that's nice. Definitely Kate ceramic ball bearings, which probably Skiffs would fit in there. A full utilization of the scale there, and you do have 2 standoffs, so it keeps it balanced. Titanium clip. All that stuff is pretty cool. I think that's kind of neat, right? So here you go. Ergonomics wise, the blade works. The blade's, kind of thin. Could definitely be a hard to use tool. Fidget factor. All right, so you do have thumb studs, which is nice. You do have a flipper, which is nice. And then you have potentially the middle finger flick. Let's see if, can I do it? Yeah, I can do it. All right, so there's that. Can I do it left-handed? Yeah, I can do it if I get in there. I just have to leverage on the clip. So there's that. So as far as fidgety goodness, what does that bring me to? That'll probably bring me to about a 7 out of 10. 6.5, 7 out of 10. So I'll just round it up to 7. 7 out of 10. That's your fidgety goodness, because you can do thumb studs, reverse thumb studs. You can flip it. You can even do the thumb, the middle finger reverse flick on the flat grind of the blade. So that's kind of cool. It gets it up to a 70. Where do I think it hits as far as its fidgety goodness? I think we're definitely probably going to be somewhere in the avenue of thumb studs are definitely better on this one than some of the other ones I've had. So I'm going to give this like a 95. 95%, not quite 100%. So it's definitely a pretty good fidgety knife, and if you have any of the variants that you get to keep, maybe the designer QSP gave us more than one of these, and it's going around to different folks. Just something worthwhile, something to consider. This would be a good knife maybe to add to your collection if you're looking for a banger beat, budget up kind of knife. This would definitely be something worth considering. So there you go. That's the fidgety goodness. Now, overall, final thoughts. I'm going to recommend it. I am going to recommend it. I do like a lot of things about it. I haven't had a chance to have it for a long time. I think it'll probably break in pretty well. The little that I have had it does feel a lot better. I did get a little nano oil on there, on the washer and the skiff, and everything that's necessary for this. The nano oil worked well. So there you go. I like it. I like the way it feels. The action is pretty good. It does seem like it'd be a good workhorse, a good solid knife. So yeah, I'm going to definitely recommend it. Those are my thoughts and then why I like it. So hey, if you have any questions about this, you disagree, please comment down below. If you'd like to ask me a question about this review, about the knife, please ask me as well. I do try to reply to all the comments, and I appreciate every one of them. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? If you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the videos on this channel really, really helps me out a lot. It allows me to grow my channel, do more things, produce more content, cover up more walls, right? With, some of the stickers and stuff that I get and all the cool little things that come in. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. If you haven't already, maybe check me out over. Oh, by the way, if you haven't done so, maybe consider hitting the notification button. You can be notified of future videos when I drop them. Finally, maybe check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Excuse me, again, that's Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week.